99% of men don't do this. Women, love it sounds extreme maybe, but let me ask you this. How many times have you seen a guy who seems to have it all, yet still struggles to create deep, meaningful connections with women? It's not about looks, money, or confidence. The truth is most men completely overlook certain small yet powerful gestures that can make them irresistible. And today I'm about to reveal 7 hidden seeker secrets that women secretly crave but rarely admit. That these aren't the typical dating tips you've heard 100 times. These are subtle psychological triggers backed by both science and ancient Stoic wisdom that can transform the way women perceive you, making you unforgettable without trying too hard. Imagine this. What if you could tap into the subconscious desires that most women don't even realize they have? What if you could effortlessly stand out from 99% of men, not by chasing, not by proving yourself, but by understanding what truly makes a woman feel seen, desired, and emotionally connected? And here's the thing, if you don't know these secrets, you're at a major disadvantage. You could be missing out on building the kind of attraction that keeps her thinking about you long after you've left the room. That's why you need to stay until the end of this video. The final secret is the most powerful one, and once you understand it, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. Before we dive, then do me a favor. If you're serious about mastering these game-changing techniques, hit that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the life-changing insights coming your way. Let's get started with secret 1, the power of touch before intimacy. The power of touch before intimacy. Picture this, you're on a date, the conversation is flowing, she's laughing, and everything seems to be going well, but something feels off. You can sense that the connection isn't quite there. She's engaged, but not fully drawn in. You drop her off, send a follow-up text, and then silence, no response. What happened? Most men focus only on words when trying to build attraction. They think a great conversation is enough. But for women, connection is not just verbal, it's physical and emotional, and there's one incredibly underrated way to create that connection touch. Not in a pushy, aggressive way, not in a way that makes her feel uncomfortable, but in a subtle, intentional, and deeply meaningful way. One of the most overlooked gestures that women seek crave is a simple, gentle massage before intimacy. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it's powerful for women. Emotional connection is just as important, if not more, than physical attraction. A well-placed non-sexual touch communicates so much more than words ever could. It says, I see you, I care about you, I want you to feel safe and comfortable with me. It's not about being a massage therapist or trying to impress her. It's about presence, being in the moment, making her feel relaxed, understood, and desired, not just physically, but emotionally. The key, it's not just about touching itself, it's about the intent behind it. If you're just going through the motions, it won't work. But if you're present, engaged, and actually paying attention to how she responds, she will feel it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, don't overthink it, don't make it weird, just be in the moment and let your actions speak for themselves. Here's the heart truth. Most men never take the time to understand this concept. That's why they remain part of the 99% who struggle with emotional intimacy. But the men who do, they create deep, lasting connections that women can't forget in a world where most guys rely on instant gratification and surface-level interactions. This kind of thoughtful approach is rare, but when you master it, you become part of the 1% the men who truly understand what women desire on a deeper level. Now let's 2, flirting with confidence and respect. Move on to a secret mirror, or to the art of flirting with respect. Most men misunderstand flirting. They either overdo it, coming across as pushy and desperate, or they hold back too much of making a mistake. The truth is, women love flirting, but only when it's done with confidence, subtlety, and respect. A man who knows how to flirt effortlessly stands out because he creates an energy that feels exciting without pressure. Flirting isn't about impressing her with false jokes or exaggerated compliments. It's about keeping things playful, light, and engaging. Think of it like a dance. You lead, she follows. But neither of you should feel forced into the movement. The best way to do this is through being in a fun, light-hearted way. For example, if she says she loves a certain type of food, you could respond with, really, that's the best you've got, clearly. You've never had my cooking. It's a subtle challenge that keeps the conversation interesting while creating a sense of playful competition. More importantly, good flirting isn't about seeking approval. The moment you try too hard to impress, you lose your edge, women, and are naturally drawn to men who are comfortable in their own skin, who can joke around without needing validation. This is where Stoic philosophy comes in. A high-value man doesn't flirt to win a woman over. He flirts because he enjoys the interaction itself. He remains emotionally grounded, never desperate for her response beyond words. Eye contact and body language are key. A confi id den smk, a slow nod or a well-timed pause, speaks louder than any pickup line. Attraction isn't built through words alone. It's built through presence, energy, and confidence. When you flirt with the right mindset, women feel it instantly. So are you flirting to impress, or are you flare-hurting because you enjoy the moment? Master this, and you'll see how attraction shifts in your favor. Secret 3. Why touching her hair at the right moment creates connection. Number 3, the power of touching her hair. Most men completely overlook this, but women love it when a man knows how to touch their hair when done at the right moment. Is one of those small, seemingly insignificant gestures that can create an instant emotional connection, but if done wrong, it can feel awkward, forced, or even intrusive. The key lies in understanding why this works. The scalp is one of the most sensitive areas of the body, filled with nerve endings that trigger deep emotional responses. A well-placed, gentle touch on her hair can send subtle yet powerful signals of intimacy, trust, and attraction. It's not just about the physical sensation, it's about the unspoken message it conveys. I see you, I'm present with you, and I'm attuned to your energy. But here's where most men go wrong. They either rush it or do it mechanically without any real connection behind the gesture. Touching her hair isn't about playing with it absent-mindedly. It's about creating a moment of closeness. Picture this. You're sitting with her engaged in conversation, and at just the right moment you gently brush a strand of hair away from her face. That single action, done with intention and confidence, can say more than words ever could. Timing is everything. This isn't something you do on a first encounter or before you've built any emotional connection. It works best when she already feels comfortable with you, when there's chemistry and warmth in the air. If she leans in slightly, if she smiles in a way that invites closeness, that's when you know the moment is right. The worst thing you can do is force it when she isn't ready, which is why presence and awareness are crucial from a Stoic perspective. This ties back to emotional intelligence and restraint. Stoicism teaches us to read situations without acting on impulse, to remain in control rather than being controlled by desire. This means not reaching out just because you want to, but rather because it's the right moment to create a connection. So the next time you're with a woman and the moment feels right, don't underestimate the power of a simple touch on her hair when done with confidence and intention. It's one of those rare, subtle gestures that make a lasting secret for the subtle power of a hand on her back impacts secret number 4, the hand on her back in public. This might seem like a small, insignificant gesture, but in reality it speaks volumes. A simple, confident touch on a woman's lower back as you guide her through a crowd or while walking together communicates something profoundly attractive: leadership, confidence, and protection. And yet 9% of men may overlook it or hesitate, unsure whether they should do it at all. Women don't need grand displays of masculinity to feel secure. They need subtle, instinctual signals that a man is grounded, present, and capable of leading. When you place your hand on her back in a calm, self-assured way, you send a message that you are in control of yourself in the situation without having to say a single word. It's not about dominance or control, but rather about showing her through action that you're there, you're aware, and you're leading with quiet confidence. But here's where most men go wrong. They either hesitate too much, making the moment feel awkward, or they do it in a way that feels forced and unnatural. This isn't about possessiveness, nor is it about seeking validation. It's about presence when done correctly. The touch is light but deliberate, brief but intentional. Just enough for her to feel it and register your presence in a way that feels effortless and natural. Picture this: you're walking side by side, heading toward the entrance of a restaurant. As you step ahead to open the door for her, your hand briefly rests on her lower back, just enough to guide her forward without breaking stride. It's a moment of quiet leadership, a gesture that subconsciously reassures her that she's with a man who moves with confidence and intent. From a Stoic perspective, this ties directly into self-mastery and emotional presence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing. What a good man should be one." An Stoic man doesn't seek approval for his actions. He simply embodies strength, awareness, and quiet control. When you place your hand on her back, you aren't seeking a reaction. You're simply being a man of presence and leadership, and that alone is magnetic in a world where many men are either too timid or too overbearing. Mastering this simple yet powerful move sets you apart as someone who understands the subtle balance of strength and care. Secret number 5, be secret 5, being her protector in small ways, her hero. The protector being a protector doesn't mean saving a woman or acting like her personal bodyguard. Women today are independent, strong, and fully capable of handling their own challenges, but here's the secret: they still crave a man who makes them feel safe, not in a dramatic, over the way, but in the small, consistent actions that show you've got her back, both emotionally and physically. Most men assume that being a protect means stepping in only during extreme situations like breaking up a fight or defending her honor in some grand display. But the truth is, it's the little things that build trust and attraction over time. It's how you react when someone is rude to her. It's making sure she gets home safely without making a big deal out of it. It's standing beside her during an uncomfortable situation, offering silent yet undeniable support. Women notice and appreciate these small acts of reliability. A man who is calm under pressure, who handles situations with composure, who is present but not overbearing. This is what makes her feel safe, and in a world full of unpredictable people, stability is rare and incredibly attractive. But let's be clear, being a protector doesn't mean controlling her or making her feel incapable. It means you're someone she can rely on when it matters, a man who doesn't panic, who doesn't escalate situations unnecessarily, but who also doesn't shy away when the moment calls for strength. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes invaluable. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." A Stoic man is emotionally steady. He doesn't act out of impulse or insecurity. Instead, he observes, assesses, and responds with calm precision. And that's exactly what makes a woman feel at ease in his presence. When you embody this kind of calm, steady energy, you stand out from the 99% of men who either overreact or don't act at all. You become the one kind of man who doesn't just talk about being strong, you demonstrate it through your actions without ever needing to say a word. Secret 6. The psychological effect of mentioning a dream about her secret number. 6. The power of dreams. This one is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. Most men never think to use it, but when done right, it creates an emotional connection that lingers in a woman's mind far longer than any compliment ever could. It's the power of suggesting that she's been on your mind even when you weren't awake. Imagine this: you're having a casual conversation, and at some point you can casually drop, "I had the strangest dream about you last night." Then you pause, you don't rush into details, you let her curiosity build. 9 times out of 10, she'll lean in and ask, "Wait, really, what was it about?" Now here's the key. You don't need some elaborate, overly romantic dream. Keep it simple, light, and slightly playful. Something like, "I don't remember all of it, but we were just sitting in a cafe talking about something deep, and it felt really nice." Notice what this does. It subtly plants the idea in her mind that you feel comfortable around her, that she holds a place in your subconscious, and that there's an unspoken connection between you. Women are deeply emotional and intuitive. They love the idea of being thought about in a way that isn't forced or calculated. A dream is something out of your control, something your subconscious conjured up, and that alone makes it feel genuine and intriguing. It's not like a planned compliment, it's an organic moment that makes her wonder, why was I in his dream? This taps into a core element of female psychology mystery, an emotional connection. A woman wants to feel special, but not in an obvious generic way. Saying, I had a dream about you, makes her feel important, without pressure, without expectation. It subtly creates intrigue because it's not something most men think to say. Now let's connect this to Stoicism. A Stoic man doesn't beg for attention. He allows natural curiosity to work in his face. He understands that attraction isn't about chasing, it's about creating a pull instead of trying too hard. He lets small, effortless moments build deeper emotions. So next time you're in a conversation with a woman, remember this simple psychological trigger. Don't overuse it, don't force it. But when the moment is right, watch how it makes her lean in, how it makes her start seeing you differently. Secret number 7. The secret 7, how a well-groomed beard triggers primal attract protection charm. Of a beard, you might think that facial hair is just a style choice, but science and psychology suggest otherwise. A well-groomed beard does more than just change your appearance. It shifts how women perceive you on a deep subconscious level. Studies have shown that women often associate bearded men with strength, maturity, and protection. 3 qualities that trigger primal attraction instincts. Think about it. In ancient times, warriors and leaders almost always had beards. A beard, symbolized wisdom, resilience, and masculinity traits that signaled a man's ability to provide, protect, and lead. Even today, those associations haven't faded. When a man wears a beard, well, he's perceived as more dominant, more self-assured, and even more reliable. But here's the catch. It's not just about growing a beard, it's about maintaining it. A messy, unkempt beard can signal laziness, while a well-groomed beard demonstrates and self-respect. This is why women are drawn to men with facial hair that looks intentional, not neglected. It subtly communicates, I take care of myself, I'm in control, and I understand my own presence. This ties directly into Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In the same way, your external appearance reflects your internal discipline. A beard isn't just facial hair. It's a statement of composure, patience, and self-mastery. You're not just letting it grow, you're crafting an image that aligns with the presence you want to command. And let's not forget one of the biggest psychological factors: contrast to well-maintained beard frames. The face accentuating strong jawlines and making facial expressions more distinct. This naturally enhances attraction because it gives off a sense of ruggedness, balanced with reef and M combination that women find irresistible. So does this mean you need a beard to be attractive? No, but if you can grow one, it's a tool worth considering, and if you already have one, maintaining it properly can amplify the way people perceive you, especially women. Final conclusion. How to conclusion: applying these secrets with effortless confidence. Apply these secrets and set yourself apart. At this point, you've unlocked 7 hidden secrets that most men completely overlook. Yet these small, powerful actions can change the way women perceive you forever. Each one taps into subtle psychological triggers that build trust, intrigue, and deep attraction without trying too hard. So let's recap the power of touch before intimacy creates an emotional connection. Most men ignore. Flirting with respect sets you apart as confident and in control. Touching her hair at the right moment sparks subconscious chemistry. Placing your hand on her back in public signals quiet leadership and security. Being her protector in the small moments makes her feel safe in a way she won't even realize. She craves using the power of dreams, plays with her emotions in a way that builds curiosity and attachment. And finally, the presence of a well-maintained beard taps into primal instincts of strength and masculinity. Now the question is, how do you apply all of this in real life? The key is not to force it. Attraction is built through presence, confidence, and self-awareness. If you're trying too hard to check off every secret in your interactions, you'll come across as a natural. Instead, let these insights become a natural extension of who you are. Pay attention to opportunities. If you're walking beside her, let your hand rest lightly on her back. If she's comfortable with you, use a playful touch on her hair at the right moment. If you sense curiosity, mention a dream you had about her. The more effort it feels, the more powerful it becomes. And here's something even more important. These secrets don't just make you more attractive to women, they make you a better man overall. When you practice confidence, presence, and self-mastery, you stand out not just in dating, but in every area of life. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a sense of purpose, control, and quiet strength. This is where Stoicism becomes a game changer. The Stoic man doesn't seek validation, he doesn't chase, he simply is. He moves with confidence, stays grounded in his values, and lets his presence speak for itself. He understands that true attraction isn't about tricks. It's about how you carry yourself in every moment. So now it's up to you. Will you be like the 99% of men who overlook these small but powerful behaviors, or will you apply what you've learned, elevate your presence, and step into the 1% of men who truly get it? If you're ready to start implementing these secrets, drop a comment below and let me know which one surprised you the most. And if you found value in this, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for even more insights that will transform the way you approach life and relationships. This is just the beginning. Stay strong, stay sharp, and start applying what you've learned today.